Alright friends, welcome back to Vince and Gigi's Super Channel G. We have this amazing lot of figures that we got going from secondhand store to secondhand store. You know, some comic book stores where people had resold their toys back to the store so they could sell them. Anyway, found some really great finds in here. Some Marvel Legends, both Hasbro, Toy Biz, some Ninja Turtles, and so on. Let's take a look to see what exactly is in here. What do you say? Right now.
It's so nice to meet you, Gigi.
Super Channel G.
Vince and Gigi, Super Channel G.
Vince and Gigi from Super Channel G.
Vince and Gigi from Super Channel G. I will see you on the TV.
Congratulations on all your success.
Super Channel G.
Alright, without any further ado, let's dive right on in. So first off, look, fan favorite. I've been looking for him forever since I unfortunately did not get him. I guess either time he came through with Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or Volume 2. And trying to find Drax online is ridiculous. You're talking about anywhere from $50 to $200 just to find this figure in a box. It's a little crazy. So I've been looking anywhere.
Undertaker,
so we could get him
as this like ghost form,
and unfortunately he did not have a box. Steve Austin definitely finally get a Guardians of the Galaxy Hasbro Drax. So I have one that's Marvel Select, which is really cool, except those figures are about an inch taller, so they don't really just go with them in the set. So let's take a look to see. I think he only came with one of his accessories. He only came with this one like knife, sword, dagger deal right here. And the other one is missing from here, and I believe he should have come with a gun as well. But anyway, let's take a look. Let's zoom on in, and let's take a look. He's in pretty good shape. Look at this. It's got great detail from the action figure to begin with, because we have obviously not reviewed this action figure yet. It looks great. He's yelling there. I would have loved for them to have a head to swap out, so he's not just screaming the whole time like, ah, wants to kill Thanos and Ronan and so on for killing his family. But he's in really good shape. He's got these little pieces that need to be sanded down, like here, and we saw a second ago, but that's very minor. The paint looks good. Whoever had this took good care of it, considering he did not have a box. His joints are still really well like intact. It's clicking to turn this around. He moves the upper part of the bicep, and yeah, all his joints are great. It's a little bit looser here on the wrist, but still works really well. Not loose, just looser. Alright, same thing. Basically a mirror image right here on this arm. Got double joints at the elbows, comes in pretty well. Bends right here at the wrist, turns like that. He's got a really good ab crunch. Look at that, and it clicks hard. You can go pretty far back too, look at that. And then we didn't even go over the head articulation, look at that. Goes decent amount back, decent amount forward, and turns really well. It doesn't really pivot side to side, but turns really well. Look at that. And look at the detail on these tattoos, right? There's designs right here on his body. Looks really awesome. Okay, so look at that. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, turns right here. The waist, which I really dig that. And so, for those of you who have been watching our channel long enough, you'll know that I don't like when it turns right here on the high part of the shin, because it's really unnatural. So, I'm definitely not a fan there. And luckily this one doesn't have that, so let's get that part clear. But that's why I'm excited to see that this one does not. So anyway, moves in the upper part of the thigh right here. Got some pretty good mobility right here at the hip. And then it's got some heavy duty knee joints with double joint there. So that moves really well, look at that. So these joints are really well designed for this figure. And then he does pivot right here at the ankle. So this character was pretty well taken care of. So I'm excited to add him to our collection. Let's see if we can put this one. Too bad we don't have both. Look at that. So I'll be happy with this for now as we continue to toy hunt a brand new Marvel Legends Drax. And look at this blade right here. Let's just call it that. is bendy, so it's not straight. It's a little bit like Dr. Seussian. All right, so he looks great. Look at the detail. Look at the paint. Definitely looks awesome. The boots look amazing. And the only thing is, it's just a little bit looser here, but it can still, it seems like it can still pose as long as it's not in this little like danger zone right here. But once it gets to a stopping point, it works really well. Okay, cool. So we'll set him aside and let's move on, see what else we got in here. All right, let's go with the obvious. We'll get this StarLord, also obviously Guardians of the Galaxy. And look, we did get a few accessories for StarLord when we picked him up. He looks great. He's got his little satchel right here, and you know, let's see what's in this little accessory bag, this little sack of accessories. Uh-oh, the tape. Okay, cool. I was like, this is the tape at the top of the bag. I think it was the top of the bag. Just ripped it off on accident. Okay, oop, dropping it right here. So he comes with both of his blasters, and he's got a swappable head, which arguable as far as it does resemble him, and it's missing a little bit of paint right here on the nose, which can be easily applied. But the hair definitely resembles Chris Pratt. The face, there's a resemblance, but I don't think it looks directly like him. So anyway, I'm preferring this head right here. Oops, with the, you know, with the dark, like metal gray, almost black mask. It looks really cool. The hair looks great. Look at that. Just an awesome all-around detail on the head. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit more. So that looks absolutely great. Look at that. And look right here, his bag. It's removable, but you know, it's up to you whether or not you want to remove it. You'd have to perhaps slide it off like this, but we'll leave it on there for now. It's cool because this jacket is not like completely permanently affixed, but if you do remove it, he's gonna look weird still having the jacket sleeves, so better if we don't remove it. So he's got a good decent ab crunch right here, turns at the waist, great, and we got some excellent mobility right here on the arms and the shoulder, the double joints. Now it's a little softer than I would like here at this joint. Look at that. Now it's still moving well, it's just not very well reinforced. But anyway, moves up here above the bicep. The arms turn, looks great. We'll give him his blasters in a second. And his wrists, they do turn and move. Okay, we got some decent mobility right here. Unfortunately, this knee doesn't seem real strong either. Look, it's just, I don't know if this is a softer material or what, but anyway, it does stay when posed. It does move in the upper part of the thigh. Got some good mobility right there. Ooh, this knee feels a little bit better, but let me reinforce it. I don't want to just break it, obviously. So that's great. And man, look, I guess that's supposed to be a smaller, well, no, not necessarily. But look how he's got his really cool part. Oh, that's the part where he flies. I'm sorry. Those are his, where he propels. We can fly. So that looks really cool. And then look at the detail. The detail on this coat looks amazing. I love this paint. It's not just a solid paint. It's got this washed look. And look at his shirt. So his head moves really well, really far back. Oop, so far back it pops off. And then it pivots a little bit, turns. It looks great. So his ankles, they move really well, side to side, back and forth. And let's put these right here in his hand. And if you'll notice, his fingers are separated so that you can actually put his trigger finger in there, and his hands are soft. So, well, that sounds weird. Here we go. Okay. Look at that. Tell me that doesn't look absolutely amazing. StarLord looking super cool. And there we are. Look at that. Definitely digging this. And then, in case maybe you heard a little while ago, I dropped the other head somewhere down there. All right, so we'll move on. I'm excited about those pickups. So, look at this Spider-Man. So this Spider-Man was, I was like, should I take this? Should I not take it? It looks really cool, and it's got, it looks almost like a basic figure. Yes, but no. And I'm like, how old is this Spider-Man? Because this looks almost Tobey Maguire-ish, right? With the way the webbing is raised. And I'm like, where is it? And here we are. It says Marvel 2004. So I'm like, is this Toy Biz? Is it not? It doesn't say Toy Biz anywhere on here. But in any event, I couldn't really find online what it is, but it's a little dusty. But we'll clean this bad boy off, but it's in pretty good shape. Let me say that. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we picked this guy up, even though he's used for 15, and I believe Drax was like 15 or 18 also. So we didn't get a huge discount, but obviously you know that those are retaining their value as far as their worth. So this Spider-Man, obviously he's been gently played with because some of his paint is already coming off. You'll see it was probably this pronounced, this silver right here, and it used to be there. So we can just paint that up, some black right there, but not a big deal. He's in pretty good shape as far as like his joints aren't loose. He moves well. He's not missing any parts of his body, so that's cool. And so let's see. The mobility for his head is, you know, I'm almost tempted to pop his head out. Oh, okay, it is a ball joint in there. Look at that. I'm like, how is this moving? Okay, so it turns pretty well, side to side. It's like, oof. All right, and then his shoulders, they move pretty well. They don't really move in too much because it already hits right there, but they do go around well. Moves in the upper part of the bicep, but his triceps are so big that if you have his arms near his body, it pushes out. Double joints at the elbows definitely make for good posing, and he can extend his arms straight, so that's important. And right here, he can move his arm on this like forearm part, and let's see, his wrist. So instead of the wrist turning and going like this, you move his forearm. So that's something to keep in mind, and he can shoot web like that. Same thing on this hand. So he can definitely, like when he was shooting to pull the train, keep the train from falling over, he can definitely, but his arms don't go very far out. Let's see, I believe we got him for 20 bucks also. All right, so his ab crunching is kind of just a joint, maybe like a ball joint that goes up like this. Just kind of just pivots and rotates. And something interesting is he still moves at the waist, which is good because I prefer the waist mobility versus right here, but having both is still really cool. All right, and then there's no joint necessarily at the hip, but it does spin. So it spins like that and then spins like this, which is interesting. So you can get some mobility with that. And he's got a really solid double joint right here in the knees. So look at that. So that's really cool. Unfortunately, he doesn't ab crunch forward enough to get like really, really dynamic poses, but he still looks really cool. Some of his paint's coming off, but that's not the manufacturer's issue. That's from this guy being played with. And then it moves on the upper part of the shin, which I'm not necessarily a big fan of because it looks a little unnatural to have his leg like this and then his shin to be that way. See, it just doesn't work for me, or this either. So I would prefer to turn it a different way and then be able to pose his ankle or whatever. Anyway, he does point and flex pretty well on his ankle, and yeah, this is a really cool action figure. So all in all, I'm really digging this, and I don't know like if he's rare or not. It's probably not, but you know what, could be wrong. If you recognize this or you know, comment below. I'm gonna do a little research after I make the video, which is a little backwards. I should have done it before, but anyway, he's a really cool Spider-Man. Definitely really cool, like 12-inch Spider-Man. So that's really exciting. All right, who do we want to look at next? Let's take a look. Okay, let's do this one. So I'm really excited about this one. This is Ironmonger, and he is from the Iron Man set from the very first Iron Man movie. And those toys were really cool from the very first Iron Man movie. They were, you know what? Were they Hasbro or were they Toy Biz? Now that I think about it, had to be Hasbro. Okay, so let's see. I can find out right over here because it should say it right on his body somewhere. There we are. 2008 Hasbro. All right, awesome. So let's see. Oh, look at that. Oh, cool. I didn't even know. You squeeze the legs together and wham! Bam! So you can still pose the arms. Look at that. And then, so if we can put his arms out so he can really like sopas. So anyway, sorry we're going a little bit out of focus there, but let's zoom in. Look at the great detail on this Ironmonger. So you can only spin the head side to side, but we can't really move it back and forth. It's got great detail here. This is just kind of hovering over, attached here. And then we have some pretty good posability right here on the shoulder. It does click, so it would stay because of the fact that it spins right here. So it wants to hold that there. It's got a really cool joint right here. It appears to be double jointed, but this second joint doesn't do a whole lot. You can pose the wrist. Look at that. That's really awesome. Same thing here, and you can spin the arm above where roughly the bicep of the robot would be. And then right here, this is where I'm assuming the repulsor blasters would be. And the hands come in, and look at that. Just weapons and so on, looks really cool. He moves at the waist, but only because he spins there. I mean, that's all he can do with it. So let's see these legs. Can we pose them? All right, so we can definitely bend it. Now, we're not gonna need him super dynamic like Spider-Man, but let's see, the feet go like this, both of them. The knees bend right here, so that's cool. And then I guess we really can't pose the legs at the hip. We can't pose them because you have to be able to move this, so they don't really go too far. I guess they spin, or this one spins, but and I guess it's really this leg that controls it, not both of them. So this one spins. Okay. Anyway, he looks absolutely great. I'm excited, and Ironmonger is always like a big, beefy, scary looking bad dude. So look at that. So I'm really, man, look at that. He's very like menacing and intimidating. Look at that. I'm gonna get you, Stark. All right. So anyway, he got this after he was talking to his scientist and saying that Tony Stark made this in a cave with a bunch of scraps. All right, let's move on. Man, look what we got here. So this is kind of the star of the show. The star of the show is because this is rare to find, number one. And if I'm not mistaken, this may have been from Hasbro's very first Build-A-Figure. From acquiring Toy Biz. It says 2006. I don't remember off the top of my head also, but so if you try to get this Build-A-Figure through buying the action figures now, new, unopened, man, just Planet Hulk from this set will sell from like 60 to 150 bucks, and that's just for his box. So the Ultimate Iron Man is really cool. I think it was Beast from X3. I'm trying to remember Hercules. I'm trying to remember who's in that set, but nonetheless, maybe Emma Frost. A really cool set, really cool set. And anyway, but to find him out in the wild, he was 85 bucks. Let me tell you, it's absolutely not cheap. That's very expensive, but is he worth it? Now, he's rare enough to be worth it, and I definitely still want to collect the unopened Marvel Legends so that we can unbox them here. But we'll see what we can do. But nonetheless, at least we have added him to our collection now, and let's take a close look. So he's got a really cool paint job, and to my understanding, someone was saying that there's a variant where this is purple versus pink. I don't know if it's a variant or just like a variation of the colors depending on when it was produced, but nonetheless, it looks cool. It's cool because this, even though it's Hasbro, was still doing like, they were like, let's do what Toy Biz was doing, and let's basically make the fingers able to move, the wrist moves. Let me see, moves the upper part of the bicep, and he's got great paint detail. Look at that, it's got this washed look. It kind of fades right here. So the head moves like this. Doesn't really move beyond that. The ab crunch is right here. Now he won't, man, that's a really far ab crunch. He won't stand on his own. Now these wings, they do pop out. Look at that. And they just go just like that. And they do pose pretty well. But they make him so heavy that you can't really stand him without a stand unless he's leaning on something. Okay, something else that I noticed, and since I didn't have this character before, I didn't know if it's supposed to be like this, but this knee only goes that far, allowing this leg to not really straighten out. So you'd have to bring it forward and have that one like that. So the legs are, you know, different. Even if we straighten it out a little bit, one appears to be made to stand more forward because of where the knee goes in. So anyway, good double joints. It's got a really cool detailed foot and leg. Look, again, washed. Looks so awesome. It's got some great you can like posability with this. And have I mentioned that his name's Annihilus? I think we went this far and I'm like, I haven't even said his name's Annihilus. So, and then, you know, when we were trying to figure out who was going to be the bad guy in Endgame, because it was so secretive, is it going to be all about Thanos? Are they going to, you know, defeat Thanos and then a bigger, badder, worse enemy come out? And then we were like, man, it must be Annihilus, must be Annihilus. It wasn't, but I'm sure he will definitely poke out his ugly head at some point in the near future in one of the phases of Marvel, the MCU, right? But look at that, great detail. This is just such an amazing Build-A-Figure. And we've been waiting to talk about this, but man, and just look at the just love that was put into designing this action figure. As I mentioned, he does not stand well on his own unless he's leaning against something or in a stand. His wings are just too heavy. Watch, see? So anyway, tell me he doesn't look amazing. And then he's still like from the residual of being able to pose the fingers. All right, so let's set him aside. Let's see what else we got here. You know, got these at a kid's store, like for like toddlers and kids and so on, where they resell items like clothes and toys, and was able to find those. But before I get to those two bags, let me just show you. This is one of the engineers from the Aliens movies. It looks really cool. These, I don't remember how much I got them for. I think I may have gotten them for like 8 to 12 bucks. That I am forgetting. I believe it's from NECA. Oop, there it is. It's 20 bucks. We don't need the sticker anymore. And we found out it was 20, so I guess I didn't save that much money on it, because it's probably 20 or 25 new. I don't know if he came with any accessories when he was new, but he definitely did not come with any accessories from the store. His shoulders don't go so far out, but they spin all the way around. And then, you know, we definitely want to add him to our Aliens collection, and we definitely need an engineer or space jockey, as they're known. And this really crazy futuristic suit that almost looks like an exoskeleton. Something that's weird is that this is really squishy for his legs, like this whole midsection. So I don't know. He's got a single joint in the knee. Now he doesn't need to be like dynamic pose like Spider-Man or anything, but his joints are a little different and a little hard to figure out at first. But I'm excited to have him in our set, and he's definitely about the size we need, because he's supposed to be towering, you know, over like super tall. So let's see, if we compared him to like Drax, look at that. See? So he'd be definitely like, what, a good 8 feet tall if we were saying so. But anyway, I'm excited to get him. This was something else we picked up, and he's been hard to find. But I would like to buy him new also. So we'll set him aside. So check this out. I was like, So I'll go and I'll look through just about anything just to see what's in there, because sometimes there's toys hidden in there. And this one definitely had one hidden. I'm like, okay, generic dinosaur, I think, a generic crocodile or alligator. So $5.99 toy action figure dinosaur. All right, I'll take it. And then, well, I didn't say I'll take it yet. I did end up saying I'll take it, but look at that. Oh my God. So we're gonna open this here, and I really don't care. Ooh, I can't even get it open. Let me cut it a little bit. I really don't care about anything else in here. The rest is kind of like just generic toys. So we have this, of course, simplistic little, what? It's not a Triceratops, but it's kind of in that family. This is the same thing, different color and squishy, whatever. Does it even have a brand on here? Ooh, and someone like bit off his tail. Poor guy. And then we have this, which is what? Alligator, crocodile. And he's, what brand is he? Treehouse Kids. Okay, cool. So, I mean, he's a realistic looking one, I guess. If we do some kind of stop motion where he's coming out in like a medium size and coming to hunt our dudes, okay, fine, whatever. And then this, let's see what this says. Tyrannosaurus, and I don't see a brand unless the WM something or other stands for something. Don't know, but oh man, look, I didn't even realize he's missing his little arms. So he's not in great shape. Alright, poor guy. But this is why I bought that sack of goodies. Because there is an Indiana Jones action figure. What are you doing in there, buddy? What are you doing in there? Now, he doesn't have a whip. Looks like he doesn't have his gun. His arms are also super discombobulated. So let me spin those around. And it's like, wow. I am excited to get this Indiana Jones. He looks great. Look at that. He's of this like 3.5-inch size. And he's got some pretty good mobility there. Look. So I'm so excited to find him. The only ones I've been able to find like at the stores and in the wild are still from the Crystal Skull, which is, you know, what, part 4, I guess. And so but I didn't want old Indiana Jones. I wanted classic Indiana Jones, and he's got such great detail. Now I wish he had the gun. It goes here. This even is supposed to close, I guess, but why close if it doesn't have one? Look at his legs. His feet move, his knees bend. Got great articulation. He's about the size of maybe our Jurassic Park toys, maybe a little smaller, maybe a little bit, but let's see what it says here. It says 2007. So this is super cool. I guess like a legacy edition, because obviously the other movies came out in the 80s. Definitely not in 2007, but what a great action figure. I definitely wanted to add this to our collection, and well, it's 12 years old to begin with, so all right, let's put this aside. And those, okay, all right. You know, those will kind of stay there. But look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for 12 bucks, not bad, $11.99, we're able to get 4 action figures. So it's like $3 each. I'll take it because these are from the movie. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What was the second one called? Something like Out of the Shadows or something like that. The one with Krang. And the first one was way better. I really liked the first Ninja Turtle movie. The second one was not as strong, but check this out. Got some weapons in here. But look at Leo. So I believe these are Playmates toys. Which actually, before I move on, let me see. I was looking here to see if we had a brand on here, and I don't see it. I'll check them again later. Okay, anyway, so look at this really awesome Playmate toy. So it's got great articulation. His head moves really well. Shoulders move all around and out and nice and smooth and stay. Look at that, all the way back too. His legs got several joints. Look at that. Man, we've come a long way from the original toys from the 80s. And amazing joints that go around and up, and great ability to pose this Leonardo. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I want to make sure that he is legit and authentic. Yeah, it says Playmates. It says 2015. So I'm just going to take their word for it. And this should go in here. We're missing one of the swords, but he definitely looks super cool. Look at that detail. I'm excited because I don't know if we have him, because we have so many action figures of Ninja Turtles from the past, you know what, 5 years or whatever, 4 years. But, or more. No, yeah, because of 2012 Turtles. And including the movie ones. But I don't know if we have this one. And he looks great. So he's in fair condition. He looks gently used, and he's missing some parts, and it's a little loose here, but I'm definitely excited to pick him up for that price. He moves right here at the, you know what? Let me make sure that his arm moves in the right direction. And that it's not supposed to be like this. There we go. No wonder it looked weird. So, okay. Moves at the wrist, turns at the wrist, and yep. So I'm digging this action figure. The only thing is we can't move him at the waist. That's basically it. All right, let's see this Donnie. So this Donnie looks like his arms kind of discombobulated there. Let's move it back to where it should be. There we go. And all right. Let's see why is his leg all crazy. Okay, cool. Looks like we got him fixed. He's got that visor right there above his head. Okay, his head moves a little bit around like that. Basically has the same mobility as our Leo, and moves pretty well. It's got this great detail. great too. So it's got a joint that allows us to pivot, move, and then another one in there, so it pivots really well. Looks like it's coming off a little bit right there, so he's definitely been played with. Looks a little bit bow-legged, but overall he looks great. This almost looks like a proton pack from Ninja Turtles, right? And he does not have any of his accessories, but that's all right. I was excited to pick him up and find him out in the wild. We'll set him aside, and we'll see the two we have left. We have Bebop and Rocksteady, and I guess these are the ones that didn't come with the vehicles, with the motorcycles. Look at the detail on his head. He's also gently played with, I'll say nicely. His arms got great ability to pose. Look at that. And he moves right here at the wrist. He does your face with that four-finger ring. And then he turns right here at the waist. And then he also, like, there's some great posing action that can go on here, especially from these Playmates Turtles action figures, which don't always have like super big posability. So great articulation, looks great. And there's his tail, and then they got this peg right here so you can stand him on a stand. And last but not least, we do have this Bebop. Look at his glasses. He does have eyes there that aren't painted. And there's some great detail here. Look at that. This looks like a separate piece that they went. I was wondering if it opened, but it doesn't. And then of course we can move his arms pretty far back and around. Again, some great posing that can happen. Bends right here. And then obviously some of his paint is a little worn from being played with. We can move his wrist. Why is it not staying? Interesting. Okay, so we can pose him right here, just like we did with the Rocksteady. And he's got little tiny knees right here. Look at my tiny knees. Wow, look at that. His back fur, I guess, that goes all the way down his little tail. So, guys, I'm so excited to have gone over this with you. And, well, these were the fruits of our toy hunting around town. And found some really amazing things here. I'm really excited with these. Now, obviously, it wasn't cheap. When you think about it, these were almost like 20, 40, 60, 80. That would be plus another 85, would be 165, 175, 185, 195, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 100, over $200 it looks like. So this little box right here, and even though they were secondhand, I was trying to do a little quick math in my head by adding them up. It's probably still over $200. So it was not cheap, and but I am satisfied with my purchase. And I got these just because they went with the Indiana Jones. So let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think of these action figures? Which ones do you think are the best? Did we get a good deal? Did we not get a good deal? Are these ones you already have or ones you're going to look to get? But anyway, talk to us in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you have not already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe below. Hit the notification bell next to it so you can get notified every time we have a new video come out. Talk to us in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And guys, why don't you go back to our homepage and check out some more videos we have and on Vince and Gigi's Super Channel G. Peace.